What's good, YouTube? Flash Speaks back for another video. Listen, man, you gotta love YouTube, man. You gotta love ESPN, these dudes. This is, what's his name? Dan Patrick. These dudes provide all types of content for me today. So, at any rate, he's discussing Caitlin Clark's, because he's of the opinion, hey, look, man, far and away, Caitlin Clark just rookie of the year, best player in, the league, all that. Right? Which is the popular sentiment going on right now. And I get it. Hey, man, you can't argue with 19 assists, right? And 24 points. Hey, bro. These numbers, hey. And I'll be the first one to tell you, listen, Caitlin Clark, if they decide to go with this offensive system, she's going to win all types of MVPs. Listen, that system got Steve Nash 2 MVPs. It got James Harden an MVP. And many people have the opinion he should have got 2 or 3 MVPs, when he was in his prime in Houston. This particular system is very point guard friendly. And if you have a certain skill set, which I will admit, Caitlin Clark does have a very good skill set when it comes to passing and court vision. She has that. This particular system will make you look like the best ever. It just doesn't win. And here he's going to talk about her and also Angel Reese. And this is something I've definitely been dying to comment on. So let's go.
Last night, Caitlin Clark put on a show. 24 points, 19 assists, and...
He said put on a show and a loss.
That's why I'm watching and I'm kind of laughing at the people who are trying to make this an argument or a discussion that Angel Reese is somehow the rookie of the year. And this...
Yeah, I'm one of them people. I know she's not going to win it because people are going to go off of... Most people think like him. Caitlin will win it if they continue to go with this particular system. Right? So, but let's check this out here. The Angel Reese thing is ridiculous. But look at what he does.
This isn't anti-Angel Reese. I told you, she is relentless. She reminds me of Moses Malone. If you're old enough to remember how Moses played.
Listen... That's crazy. You know why? Because I was trying to think of who she was. I never went with the Dennis Rodman thing because I see it, but I don't. Dennis Rodman was more of like a wiry, crazy, athletic, Moses Malone. Listen, if Angel Reese would be Moses Malone, do y'all understand? Moses Malone is a 3-time MVP and a champion in the league. He's a 3-time NBA MVP and a champion and a Hall of Famer. If Angel Reese could be Moses Malone, there's nothing Caitlin Clark will do to outdo that. That's what he don't understand. Moses Malone? Yeah, you know how happy I would be? She could be Moses Malone. Moses Malone, she is a guaranteed 23 to 25 points, 13 to 15 rebounds a night. You think we wouldn't take that? Dan, you are tripping. Most people out here saying Dennis Rodman, but I actually agree with Moses Malone when you think about it. I actually agree with that.
His shot wasn't pretty, but he was relentless. Both ends of the floor. He was going to get rebounds. He was going to get garbage points. He'll, putbacks. Aesthetically wasn't pleasing, but Angel Reese is kind of like Moses Malone. Caitlin Clark is on the worst team. There's a reason why they
bullshit. Cap. That's cap. Yes, the Indiana Fever did have the worst record last year. They were not the worst team because the Chicago Sky last season, you can't look at it. Chicago Sky last season had Kalia Copper and they had some other players. They traded away over half their roster, bringing in 7 new players. And as my man, Welcome to HD TV will tell you, Sets Talk Sports will tell you, Greedy Love Sports will tell you, all of them who know the W better than me, the Chicago Sky coming into the league were projected to be about 12th, which is damn near dead last in the W. They were projected to definitely be the bottom third. What they're doing right now is a surprise. It's an overachievement. Angel Reese is better than they expected. Camila Cardoso is better than they expected. Kennedy Carter, who was not on the team they added, they had no idea she would be doing this. Okay? So that's cap. Dan, whereas the Indiana Fever had 2 players that were in the All-Star team last season. Erica Wheeler, who made an All-Star team in previous years. So they had 3 former All-Stars. And they just added Caitlin Clark, who is consensus considered to be, one of the greatest college players of all time. So they were projected to actually make the playoffs, to be somewhere between the 5th seed and 8th seed. This is what they're saying. So that's cap, Dan. That's cap.
Number 1 pick. They weren't good. She's making them at least playoff worthy. Now, granted, just about everybody makes the playoffs in the WNBA. But you're watching last night, and
that's not true. If there's 12 teams, when 8 teams, what is it, 12 teams? Well, I get what you're saying, but whatever.
I mean, she scored or assisted on 66 of her team's 93 points.
And that really impresses casuals so much. Stat people, and that impresses them. See, I don't like that. Because that tells me the rest of your team is not involved. See, basketball is a 5-on-5 sport. It's not a 1-on-1 sport. It's not a one-person show. Now, if you can find a way to win with it, fine. But even Michael Jordan couldn't win as one person. He had to get help. It's 5-on-5, right? So that's to him, that's just this great thing. To me, it argues against you and what you're doing, especially when you go out there and lose. You gotta win if that's what you're gonna do.
That's a WNBA record. She's gone 20-10 a couple of times this year, 3 times. 20-10 3 times this year. I mean, she's going to set all the rookie records in the WNBA. And for those who think she's just a logo shooter, just watch her play. She has the ability to pass that is equal or surpassing players in the NBA. Her ability to find the open person.
Don't compare to people in the NBA. All right, just compare to people in the WNBA. Comparing men and women, that's when you get into problems. Because then why doesn't she shoot like the men in the NBA? Right? There's men and then there's women. Okay, there's been great women passers. Compare it to the Sue Bird and all of that. Now, if you want to say she's better than her, okay, all right, because the passes are fancy, I got you.
It's remarkable. And as we talked about this yesterday, to see a play maybe 1 or 2 plays before it happens, or a pass here leads to a pass there. And she's unselfish, probably a little too much. She should have shot a little bit more last.
That I disagree with. I disagree with the notion that just because you're passing the ball, that you're unselfish. If your desire, because a player could possibly want assist stats, and that's also selfishness. So that here you're trying to make an argument on a person's character, which you should not do. Just judge the basketball. You don't know if they're being selfish or not. It's this idea that because you're scoring points is selfishness, but getting an assist is being generous. No, not necessarily. Because assists count towards your stats just like points do. So no, I don't agree with that.
Tonight. And I always go back, when we started this year, her season, I said she might be more of a facilitator and lead the league in assists more than just, and I thought she would be a 2010 player this year.
She has scored 20 and 10 this year. Oh man!
She gets in a pick and roll with the Leah Boston, and
this is one of the things they just think the women in the WNBA ain't shit. That's why I thought that, and this was a very, very popular notion. Coming into this league, she's just gonna be better than all of them. These women ain't nothing. Listen, I don't doubt that Caitlin Clark is a great basketball player. She's a fantastic basketball player, but I'm telling you, what you're seeing, as far as the flash and all of that, this is it's a result of a couple of things. Number one, her skill set. Secondly, a coach and a system that allows you to do that. There are many players that can do these types of things, that can play this way, but they're not allowed to play that way. They're not allowed to do that. Right? Here, she's in a very advantageous situation where she's allowed to do these things. And like I said, it's going to get her some MVPs. It's going to get her some numbers. Championships, I don't see it.
Stockton and Malone, and you saw that last night. But and we talked about
or Harden and Embiid, right? I'll call it Stockton and Malone when it gets to a finals. Right now, it's Harden and Embiid. You get to the second round and lose.
how they front-loaded the schedule. They wanted to make sure everybody got to see Caitlin Clark, and she looked gassed. She looked tired. And I did say she didn't deserve to be on the Olympic team, and I meant that at the time. Now, is it a discussion point now? It is, but it's too late unless she gets on because somebody is injured. I don't know when you...
I want to buy your house. I can pay you cash for your house, no matter what condition it's in.
Freeze your lineups there that she can't go on, but she is an alternate. We did ask about the men's team as well. When do you have to freeze your lineup that Jaylen Brown couldn't join the team, let's say if Joel Embiid wasn't able to play. But with Caitlin Clark, she's playing her way into that conversation. And this is what's going to happen.
No, she ain't. She's just getting a bunch of stats. No, she's not. She's getting a bunch of stats.
You're going to get questions to the players on the Olympic team about Caitlin Clark. And there's two ways to approach this. You either, embrace it. Good for our game. We hope that she'll be an Olympian. She'll have a lot of opportunities. She'll probably be on the team in Los Angeles. Or, hey, I'm not here to talk about somebody who's not here. And you're going to get two different philosophies here. The best way to go about it, acknowledge her. This is the team, and we're proud to bring home a gold medal here.
Now, I don't mind her playing on an Olympic team, but what I'm interested in seeing is how she fits in. Like, if Caitlin Clark joins the Olympic team, they're not giving her the ball and then causing Kylie Copper and, Aja Wilson and Kelsey Plum and all of them. They're not going to just be subordinate to her, waiting for her passes and fancy shit. She has to be able to fit into that. Are you going to be a catch-and-shoot player? Or are you going to be a player that's just going to set somebody else up? Or are you going to be a screener? That's what's going to happen when Caitlin Clark is in a situation where she's not the best player, or where she's with equal or better players. That's what I want to see. Right now, we know that she knows how to play as, the center of the universe. Does she know how to fit in with others? That's the question, and that's one of the major reasons why they wouldn't add her. All that other shit about being jealous and all of that, y'all get the hell out of here. There's people that are better than her, like Enrique, who showed that last night, who they haven't even let on the Olympic team because Enrique is known as like a go-get-it-yourself player, the Kyrie Irving type. All right, those are the things people consider when they look at real basketball. You got to understand, basketball committees and that have legendary coaches on it and all these types of stuff, they understand basketball better than you.
And Caitlin's been great for the WNBA, and you'll be able to see her on the Olympic team in Los Angeles in 4 years. But, they just signed this new deal. Great timing. But that's the Caitlin Clark effect. She had a large say in this TV deal. That you now...
damn saying. If they see the numbers. Oh, shit, daddy, all these motherfuckers come go watch her? All right, yeah, y'all can have this deal. Yeah, no doubt about it. All these people want to watch her, and you know what? That's where I got to give Caitlin credit. Just the entertainment aspect of it. I don't think she's going to win shit, but yeah, the behind-the-back passes, the logo threes, and all of that stuff is definitely genius. I don't think she did it on purpose. I think that's just the way she plays. I think she's entitled and allowed to be able to play that way, and it had this effect overall. It helps everybody. And, she will get a lot of credit because of her style of play. Now, will it win something? I doubt it.
All of a sudden, players might get their salaries doubled. Now, is it just because of her? No. But I've said this before about Tiger had people who didn't even like golf, but were fascinated with Tiger. Wayne Gretzky, people watched hockey. They weren't hockey fans, but they wanted to see what Wayne Gretzky was all about. You may tune in to the WNBA just to see Caitlin Clark. Hopefully you'll see the other players, and you'll see how far the game has progressed, evolved.
Yeah, I agree with that. Because what got me watching was the whole thing that happened with her and Angel Reese. Right? I watched out of curiosity. And then as watching out of curiosity, I started to see, damn, you know what? This ain't a bad product. Previously I didn't know. Previously I just didn't care because it's women playing. Right? So after watching, I said, you know what? This ain't bad. It's actually, in some ways, more watchable than the NBA regular season. Not more watchable than the NBA playoffs. More watchable than the NBA regular season in some ways.
And that there are great athletes there. Asia Wilson has been playing great basketball for quite some time. It's just now people are starting to recognize her. Caitlin brought the spotlight, but the spotlight's big enough for a lot of other players. And that's where you benefit from it. Tiger came there, prize money all of a sudden, doubled. Now everybody benefited from.
All right, yeah, I agree with that. I just don't care about it. I just wanted to hear what he had to say. This was entitled, she should be the MVP and Rookie of the Year. I'm glad he didn't say that, because I had a feeling that was clickbait, which some of you jokers need to stop doing, because you got people in the comment section who clearly ain't even watching the video. They're saying, yeah, she was Rookie of the Year and MVP for a while. How stupid can you be? Anyway, man, tell me what y'all think about this. Peace out.